This week we watched Superman, directed by James Gunn.
I enjoy the movie a lot. Like I said, I've mentioned my love of like comic book and stuff like that, being a comic book fan. Um, I didn't think it was like there was a lot of stuff going on in this movie, like multiple like layers and stuff crisscrossing back and forth. Um, I think the biggest takeaway from the movie that I loved was the fact that if it, in reality, Superman doesn't save the day, it's the people that actually do. The regular humans actually they not him, which is tangential or not tangential, but it falls in line with the overall theme and point of the movie. What Superman says when he confronts Lex for the last time, like, you may think I'm an alien, but I have the same wants, fears, and wishes. I'm as much human as you, no matter as how you think about it. And the fact that it wasn't the immortal, all powerful being that say they was the people, the humans, that did the right thing at the end of the day, which I thought was a good message, especially given how the modern day influences that are in this movie. So yeah, I love that part.
I was interested that this movie was very political in a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but I did enjoy. I liked the messaging that came out of this one. I thought, yeah, this is the Superman of its time. Like it's very, and I don't know because I don't read the comic books, like if the character had always been this way, but if it was, and James kind of picked that out and just kind of extrapolated upon that, or if this was just his interpretation of like how he wanted the character to be and the setting he wanted to be in. But I really thought it was like extremely like close to whatever we're living in right now. And I think that that was pretty cool. And some people have issues with it, but I thought it was great. And I actually love David Corn Sweat as this character. I think the only thing I had seen him in before was Twisters, and he was the
Mhm.
bad guy in Twisters. So I was just like, whatever. But I think this version of Superman is really good. He has like a naivete and like charm about him, but also like, I don't know, like a willingness to like at least be open to like what other people, however the people think and feel, and like is adapting to that in some ways. I don't know. I like his portrayal of the character. I think it's really good.
It feels like the plot went to serve the plot when it had to, like, really forced its way to serve the plot, especially with Mr. Terrific's part in the movie, because it's like at one point he's like, "Oh, those millions of data analysts, crypto linguistics, they wouldn't lie, really government people wouldn't lie, or Lex Luthor probably wouldn't have an ulterior motive to do
Hmm.
anything like that." And then and I don't get why he's so fanatic that he wouldn't do that, but then he realizes, oh, Lex Luthor made a portal and it's gonna do a bad thing. Like he realizes that Lex is, smart to do that, but not smart enough to bypass you know, other people when him and okay, comic wise, Mr. Terrific and Lex Luthor are some of the smartest people on planet Earth. And if Lex is able to build this teleporter, you don't think he's able to trick, linguistics and, data analyzers? Like, I didn't, agree with that. You know, the fact that apparently they've been dating for 3 months, and she knows where he lives, where he's from, but he's never met, his parents. Like, he's willing to let Lois in his life and know that she's Superman, but him being especially on his deathbed is the first time she meets his parents, but she knows where they live. I
It's
thought
only
that
been
was
3 months.
Yeah, that's what they said. We've been dating for 3 months. Yes, they
Yeah,
said it.
they're not
Yes.
like.
But I'm saying, the man's whole origin now. He's Superman, and you know where he lives. That's what I'm saying.
I think
Like,
the interesting thing with like the Lois Lane and Clark Kent relationship was that they kind of played with the idea that they're still like figuring out what they are to each
yeah,
other. So I don't know, because to me it's like, well, obviously these two characters are together, and I think in this version they wanted to kind of play around with it a little bit more. I don't maybe to introduce audiences to it who weren't familiar with their origin story or whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, around the 3 month mark is probably when you would introduce your partner to your family. But then, did they break up before? I don't know that part at the when she was at his house, or he was at her house, excuse me.
mm,
Um, I don't know if if they were implying that they had broken up or they were taking a break or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot of stuff like, oh, we need to plot to regress so Lois knows we can do this much, from forgetting earlier stuff. And then yeah, and stuff like that, those little bits and pieces, like kind of like we have to progress the plot along. So guess what? That little schism we showed earlier doesn't matter. Those kind of things. I wish the writing itself was a little bit more airtight.
I did think that like all of the actors who were there were really great.
Hmm.
Like I was following the casting of this when it was happening and I was like so excited to see who was gonna get picked to be the
Hmm.
Superman, Lois Lane or whatever. But like I do think that like Rachel did a really good job playing Lois. Like I like that she seems like a very realistic person who is just like who isn't just gonna be like, oh, Clark,
Hmm.
Superman, you're the best and wonderful. Like she's like very like she wants to like engage in some difficult conversations. She's gonna challenge him. It's not gonna be easy. And she and my homeboy from Booksmart end up being the people who and like save the whole thing. Like they're the ones who crack the case. And I actually really like that.
Yes.
Um she's not being saved. She is fine. And I
Hmm.
really thought that that was cool. And I like even her hair, like the fact that it's not like that fiery red and it's like an auburn red where you can only really see the red through like certain lighting and stuff. I thought was also cool because then it kind of distinguishes her interpretation of the character from like other versions like Amy Adams or
Hmm.
whatever. So I thought that was nice. And I like their kind of relationship back and forth. Like, they're going to end up together. So it's not even like the stakes are that high for it. But I think the discord in whatever their like relationship is, I thought that was kind of interesting. So that was cool. Like, everyone seemed like they showed up knowing exactly what movie they were in
Hmm.
and they committed.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of what he did with the three of them. Okay, Mrs. Terrific is Mrs. Terrific. I like his costume suit. I hate that wig was horrible. Like that wig was just so ass. Um,
He was wearing a wig.
yeah, the flat top.
I don't know that.
Like, yeah, it looked
Couldn't tell.
horrible. Um, Isabella Merced as Hot Girl and Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I enjoyed because Guy is a bit of a jock, a little bit of a hothead. The only thing I don't like is the fact of the clothes they're wearing. They're like Justice Gang uniform. Like he's a Green Lantern. I want you to see the Green Lantern uniform. I wish we got that. Hawk Girl. Wish we saw her something that Hawk as a hawk. I hated the fact that her jacket wasn't on, the wings weren't there anymore. That kind of thing, like annoying, like where her wings? She just walking around without her wings. This is hot girl, it's part of who she is. Either it's like sometimes it's either a strap with wings or physical wings. Like what's up with that? I hate the fact that the only dialogue she really got when she was in her like superhero action stuff was her screeching like a bird. I think that's too on the nose. For me. And James Gunn just has a way of with his projects, like he even mentioned himself. This video recircled around, um, where somebody offhandedly at Marvel was like, "Oh, I think these stones we have here are probably Infinity Stones. They're probably connected." And he said he came up with a lore for that, which Marvel relied on for the first like three phases of its franchise. They relied on the lore he created. He said, "Oh, I made that stuff up with the stones like 3 minutes." You know, he comes up. It's like, okay, this character exists here. This character exists here. This character exists here. Cool. I'm gonna throw them in this movie and not make them the way they should be, just to fit what I want to do with them. Like the Metamorpho, his name now being Joseph when his name is Rex Mason. That kind of threw me off. And like, why the fuck is he like dealing with? And he's supposed to be like this brave, like Indiana Jones type character. So I don't think he'd like succumb to Lex Luthor like that quickly. And the fact that his whole concern is this fucking green baby. What does this green baby have to do with the plot? Kind of thing. So it's stuff like that I'm not a fan of when James Gunn does that. So
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't have known. I'm just like, okay.
yeah.
I think he put that baby in there because he wants a little cute thing like Groot. Like
Yeah,
he
he wants
wanted
he wants a
something
Groot.
he wanted something cute that people could like attach to. Okay. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, Sure.
Okay, now that you said that, it probably seems like a DC mandate. Like, oh, we need a cute thing. We need our own
I
baby
think
Groot.
so. I
You
think it
know,
might be.
and I googled it after I saw the movie, and I was like, oh, they have merchandise featuring this fucking green baby.
Yeah,
Like,
that was my
so
thought exactly
yeah,
when it popped up. That was exactly the thought I had. I was like, they're gonna use this to sell merch. Like
yeah,
it was just a very clear. He really just took like the whatever methods he used for the Guardians of the Galaxy and was just like, okay, copy paste. We're doing that over here.
yeah,
Like his brother Sean Gunn will always be employed. If James Gunn is employed, his brother will be employed. Like he will always be in a movie. Like even
yeah,
where it's just like, why are you here? He'll be there.
yeah.
Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor.
Yes,
Fantastic.
fantastic,
Absolutely
fantastic.
ate it up. It was giving all kinds of Elon Musk realness. He said he didn't use him as an inspiration, but I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. But I thought he was amazing in this. I love Nicholas Hoult in a comic book movie adaptation moment. Like I
Hmm.
think he's so good. One thing that kind of threw me off and I wasn't obsessed with was the introduction of Supergirl.
Mm.
Like her just being tossed in there at the last minute. I said, "Oh, okay, I forgot that you were attached to this stuff." Like I did forget about that, to be fair. But her kind of just being tossed in there and she just didn't really do anything anyways. I was just like, is this the introduction we want for this character who you're also like building a movie around? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean, and also her casting was announced like in the middle of the media build up to uh Ezra Miller's Flash. Like her, they
mm,
re-announced her casting for the new Supergirl in light of all that. So to have it be such a big deal, and then it's kind of like add on, like almost that scene, her showing up could have been seen as like a as the the um the end credit spoiler. That could have been at that point, honestly.
this is a superhero movie. Like, yes, this is what you're gonna this is it's supposed to be a little bit cheesy. Like that's a whole this man is flying around in underwear. Like that is don't take yourself too seriously. I think that's kind of what I got from it. And I actually really enjoyed it. And it made the other more, I think, serious points stick up a
Yeah.
lot more and hit a little bit harder because it wasn't trying to take itself too seriously, I think.
Yeah. Like his last monologue at the end about, his humanity and how he gets it. They as like a person, like I'll be honest, like mentally I've been having a shit week, so as a person dealing with like mental health issues, like that ending right there, that dialogue really keyed in for me what the overall message of Superman is. Like he is hope. Like we can overcome like the negative aspects that go on with life. Like we just keep going. Like and that's the thing I love. Like that to me, like I was like that him like, oh, this is what Superman represents,
Right.
and has always represented, regardless of
Right.
how the Fox News and stuff want to say he's too woke. Superman has always been woke. So I still love this movie, even though I can point out plot inconsistencies. Still a good movie, for anybody to watch. Did you like that clip? Well, you can listen to the entire podcast because the 16mm Film Crew podcast is available on all major podcast platforms.